Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel and another video. So in today's video, I want to talk about why the triple magazine holster from Zero9 holsters is probably my most favorite duty belt mounted magazine holster on the market right now. So for the last about 7+ years, I've been using the Safariland triple open top magazine pouch, specifically for the Glock 17, 19, 22, 23, things like that. And it's served me fairly well. It had multiple mounting options. You can mount it with the magazines facing up, you can mount it with the magazines facing sideways, and the best part is that it carried 3 instead of 2 and still had the same kind of footprint, right? So I really enjoyed this for a multitude of reasons, and I really enjoy carrying 3 magazines with the bullets facing forward for multiple reasons. And one of those being, no matter if I'm drawing the magazine with my left hand or my right hand, the magazine is always in the same orientation. So it's really easy to develop muscle memory, it's real easy to grab, and it's just a lot better and faster in my opinion for my shooting style. Now, I also did like the fact that I could mount it sideways if I wanted to. I'm not really a big fan of that. I know a lot of people do. I don't really have that much experience with it, but it is an option, and options are always good. Now, one of the main reasons that I switched to the Zero9 was retention. Okay, so the best way to kind of explain this is to show you. So on the Safariland, these are some Glock 17/45 magazines right here. They go in fairly easily in these side ones, but then in this middle one right here, I kind of had to put the magazine in, twist it, and then push it down to seat. Now that's, not too bad, but the problem is whenever you go to do like rapid reloads, these come out fairly easily. This center one, on the other hand, does not. And that's because of these 2 adjustment screws right here, right? These are what provide the retention onto the magazines. It does a fairly good job, and in some cases it does too good of a job in the middle one. There's not a consistent amount of retention across the 3, and that always bothered me. But if I wanted to resolve that issue, I would have to switch to a double magazine pouch instead of a triple. Well, I don't really feel like giving up some bullets just for some convenience. If anything, I just practice to train from, to draw from these 2 first, and then that last one there would be my last ditch mag where, my adrenaline's pumping anyway. I'm just gonna rip that son of a bitch out and just go with it. But I never liked that that wasn't a good enough option for me. Another thing that it wasn't that big a deal, but it is the mounting of the actual pouch here, or holster, whatever you want to call it, to the belt. So on the Safarilands, it just has this very thick, like, leather. I think it's one of their composite leathers where it has some kind of polymer on the inside, but this just slides onto the belt. I mean, that's how it's been for like 200 years with belts, stuff just slides on, done. I didn't really like that because there's several instances where I've had to change my belt around for various things, like accommodating a new piece of equipment, replacing a pouch, just moving it around based on training and stuff that I've received. And I just really didn't like having to take everything off the belt just to change one thing and then put everything back on. That's where the Zero9 comes into play. The Zero9, unlike the Safariland, has a better retention system. Now, it still uses the 2 screws in the front. I also do like that on the Zero9s, it uses some Phillips versus hex. Because I don't know about you, but it's a lot easier for me to find a Phillips head screwdriver or even a flathead screwdriver that fits in here versus a hex whenever I'm out in the field. I also generally carry my Leatherman, which features a Phillips and a flathead, so I can adjust this on the go. Another thing is I like that it uses multiple different types of mounting solutions. In this case, I've opted for a tech lock. Okay, you can mount this with the magazines facing up or sideways in any orientation, just like the Safariland, but if you need to remove this from your belt, You just unclip it, take it off, adjust it, do whatever you gotta do, and clip it back on. There's no taking everything off your belt, there's no moving the stuff around and then saying, oh shit, I forgot X pouch in Y location. It's a lot simpler. Another thing is, like I said, they have multiple mounting options. They do offer malice clips, so you can actually mount these to a vest, which I love. I love that. You can mount these to a vest, a battle belt, and I think I just might do that. But for my duty belt right now, this is my #1 go-to. Now, there is a price difference, right? So with the Safariland, this one usually retails anywhere from $30 to $35 on Amazon. Like I said, it has served me well. It's not exactly a budget piece of equipment, but if you're going to be using it for duty-related purposes, for me, budget is a non-issue. I'm sorry, but I will spend good money on things that I'm more than likely going to stake my life on. It's just like buying good windshield wiper blades or quality brakes or good tires. Like, why are you going to skip out on it? One thing about the longevity on these is this one has lasted a long time, but it's starting to notice some wear and tear. This is generally where like my seatbelt rides, and this is usually the first thing to bang into stuff. This was like right next to my buckle. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look bad. It's just, how did my supervisor call it? Character, right? This one is completely Kydex through and through. This is 2 pieces, completely molded and totally functional. I love it. It's a simplistic, elegant design that suits its purpose very well. I mean, I don't know what more I can ask for. The bottoms are open on the sides to allow drainage. The Safarilands had that as well, but they had these 3 little slots, and I mean, it is what it is. This will let like all kinds of stuff fall through. I love it. Another thing is, like I said, the consistent retention. For me, that was a big deal. You saw how difficult it was on the Safariland. Let me show you on here. So this holds it very well. Now, these are empty magazines, but even with full magazines, they wouldn't come out. And it's so easy to pull all of them. They're all consistent across the board. And that is what sold me on this. I'll put a little video up here of me drawing while wearing the belt, and you can see here how easy it is to pull these magazines out in a pretty rapid succession. I mean, there's no way I think I could even shoot 17 rounds that fast and I have to reload, but the fact is I can go down the line and consistently pull out each magazine very easy with just the right amount of effort and get it into the gun and get it working. There's no struggling, there's no like, okay, I'm gonna have to bounce between this one, and then oh shit, I gotta use this one. None of that. I can just go right down the line, and it's just as easy to do it left-handed as it is right-handed. And you can see that in my video. I transition, I put my gun in my left hand in my non-dominant, and then I'm pulling the magazines out right-handed. I can get to the magazines easy because they're not center line, but they're kind of in the same place where I carry whenever I carry off duty in my appendix waistband, mounted solutions. And I can confidently say I can both draw my magazines and my pistol with my left and my right hand, and I have no issues. Now, getting on to the point of issues, one of the issues I have with the Zero9 holster here is that it has this high kind of back end. Let me take these magazines out and show you what I mean. So if you look on the Safariland, it's like flat across the board, right? Like nothing. On the Zero9, it kind of has like this shelf right here. It's not really an issue, but it is like something that you're gonna have to retrain yourself on, because I was used to like grabbing the magazines like so and pulling them out. And this one, I'm kind of like hooking my fingers almost and pulling them out. So, I mean, I wish I could cut this off, and I may, if I get another one, I may just shave off a little bit off the top here and just make it a little bit easier so I have more to grab on. But that's really the only gripe I have. I love the TechLock belt mounting solution. This thing is freaking awesome. It does not come loose. It does not shift on you. It stays in place. You can mount it wherever you want. There's so many different mounting options on here. I mean, it's just wild. I like that I have the capability of possibly also mounting a knife behind this. So like with these mounting holes here, If I find a Kydex sheath that lines up or a nice skinny little blade that I want to stash right there, I can do it. I mean, there's a ton of options here. I really, really like that idea. But like I said, my biggest one was the retention, the ease of adjustment of the retention, and the overall look. I got this one in basket weave because everything on my duty belt is basket weave, because basket weave is life, and if you're not, you're wrong. And you know, basket weave was, I think, an extra $5. Now, it's a very subtle basket weave aesthetic. I like it. You can still tell it's Kydex, but it's like classy Kydex, you know what I mean? And you know, on the Safariland it's a little bit more pronounced, but it hides the scratches better and stuff like that, and I just like it. It was an extra $5. So, once again, reiterating on the price, Safariland, $30 to $35. Zero9, $54.95 as it sits. The tech lock was an extra $10 and the basket weave was an extra $5. I think this thing retails for like $39 usually. So I'm also going to be trying a few things from them. They have radio holsters that I'm really interested in, handcuff pouches. They also have AR magazine carrying solutions. I'm going to be trying a few things because this has thoroughly impressed me. And I'm not sponsored by them. They are not paying me. I wish they were. If you want to, I'm open to it. But I'm telling you right now, this thing, I mean, I've been shooting for, Jesus Christ, well, 2 decades. Okay, I've been shooting since I was freaking 8. You know, not professionally or anything like that, but at least in the last 10 years of my adult life, I have been shooting professionally. And in a military capacity, in a law enforcement capacity, and in a competitive capacity. And I have to say, this thoroughly impresses me, and I highly recommend it. I honestly do. And I'm very much looking forward to trying out the rest of their equipment. So if you guys have any other questions about these or any of the other things you saw in this video, go ahead and leave a comment down below. You know, ask any question. If you found another magazine pouch that's kind of similar or whatever, or something completely different that you think I might like, go ahead and leave that down below too. I'll check it out. Oh, of course there's one fly in this video. That's unbelievable. And let me know and I will check it out. It is worth noting that this one is the Glock model. They do also actually have a model for other 9mm/40 caliber magazines. And those are compatible with the Beretta 92, the SIG P226, the M&P 49, and of course the SIG 320. Now, they said, they do have a disclaimer on there, they haven't tried it with all the 9mm magazines, but they're fairly confident that it fits most double-stack 9mm or 40 caliber magazines out there. So if you're not sure about it, go ahead and shoot them an email. It's a law enforcement officer-owned company. These are people that actually use the gear, they've tested the gear, and they stand by it. And honestly, so do I. But once again, thank you for joining me today. If you have anything else, go ahead and leave it down in the comments below or shoot us an email. All that information is down in the description below, as well as a link to these and the Safarilands. I'm not sure if these are available on Amazon, but I will link their website on there. So once again, really appreciate you joining me today. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Hope you're staying safe out there. Hope you're staying healthy. And I guess I'll catch you in the next one.